supposed to stay in the UK for that long. She came here to learn some English, get a bit of experience, and now she had a decision to make. Should I go back to Italy, as I plan to, or should I make a life-changing decision and stay in the UK to be with me, who she's just been dating now, I think, for about 2 months. So she went back to Italy for a while. It wasn't supposed to be for that long, but she did end up staying, I think, about 2 months. But during that time, she's also made a decision to come back and carry on our relationship, because we were still speaking on the phone all the time in Italy and getting closer, even though there was that, obviously, a whole sea between us. But the relationship did develop more even with that distance.
Then she came back?
Yep, she came back. I was at university. She moved back with Donna and Kevin, carried on with her au pair work, and I was in my final year of university now. She used to come over regularly, like every weekend. She would come over on Friday and stay the whole weekend with me at the Halls of Residence. And she'd go back on Sunday night or Monday to her work, and I'd go back to university from there. After a year, I started to, the relationship obviously has gone on for a year now, and after 1 year, I'd moved back to my family home, and she was still staying in Gravesend, but she wanted to develop her life more. She didn't want to be an au pair forever. She was a very intelligent girl. She had a lot that she could, like, get herself through experience of actually working properly, but she didn't have those qualifications. So when I applied for my first job and I got it, I helped her to get her a job in the city as well, and done her CV with her. One thing I found out when I was doing her CV, which she didn't even tell me, was that she was a baroness. She was that modest.
Wow.
It was like a real modesty about her, and I didn't even know that I was dating a baroness all this time. I got her a job. She obviously got done the interview and passed, but that was with her bubbly personality. But it was putting the CV together and getting her foot in there. She managed to put herself across as who she actually is. And straight away the company hired her before she just left the building, and straight away they're calling up, asking her, their recruitment agent, we want her. Straight away.
And then at some point she went back to school.
That was a while later.
Oh, okay. I don't want to get ahead of myself. So then what happened next? What kind of job was that you got her?
It was, I think it was just something basic. It was a data analyst job at that point. It was just something basic at that moment. Yeah.
Okay, well, when we come back, we do need to take a break now, but when we come back, we will continue this saga. I understand that you felt that she was your soulmate, so we will kind of get into that, too, when it was that you first realized that. My guest today is Raj Babbra. He is, I have a new title for you, The Reluctant Filmmaker. And his film, which hopefully will be going around the world, is called 7/7, Life Without Benedetta. So stay tuned. You're listening to Dr. Carole's Couch, and I'm your psychiatrist host, Dr. Carole Lieberman.
Ask the experts. Call toll-free right now, 1-866-472-5787. And ask our All-Star team to answer your question. That's 1-866-472-5787.
Thank you for calling.
VoiceAmerica.com.
Had an accident? The people you may encounter may be attorneys, doctors, and insurance agents. How do you protect yourself and your family? Tune into Meeting by Accident with attorney Tom Woodruff, an experienced trial attorney and former legislator. Attorney Woodruff and his expert guests assist and inform on what to do in a crisis, what steps to take, what to avoid, and most important, what you need to know to get through the process. Meeting by Accident broadcasts every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern on the Voice America channel. Because being informed makes all the difference. Tune into Meeting by Accident with attorney Tom Woodruff.
Are you having difficulty coping with these troubled times? Do you want help? Then contact Dr. Carole Lieberman today at www.drcarole.com. Dr. Carole is a certified psychiatrist who not only has won an Emmy, but is a regular on top television shows like Oprah Winfrey and Larry King. She's here to help you through books, CDs, and helplines. Having trouble relaxing? Check out her relaxation CD. Has the fear of terrorism crippled your life? Call the terrorism hotline. And if you're having trouble with relationships, check out her book, Bad Boys. Dr. Carole wants to help you today, so contact her at www.drcarole.com or for immediate help at 1-900-860-COPE. Get help making sense of these troubled times. www.drcarole.com.
Radio by George is a lifestyle program dedicated to improving the lives of listeners by focusing on the holistic growth of their mind, body, and spirit. Host Eddie George shares his life experiences as well as the experiences of his guest commentators and experts with the listening audience to focus them toward reaching their personal and professional goals. Tune in every Monday afternoon at 1 p.m. PST, 4 p.m. EST to Radio by George on the Voice America channel and learn more from the life experiences of a man who went from being a somewhat unruly kid in the streets of Philadelphia to a retired professional athlete who has become a role model for not only young people but for businessmen and women globally. Plan to spend your Monday afternoons with Eddie George and his empowering talk radio show, Radio by George. That's every Monday at 1 p.m. PST, right here on the Voice America channel.
VoiceAmerica.com.
Welcome back to Dr. Carol's Couch. If you have a question or comment for Dr. Carole, dial toll-free at 1-866-472-5788. Now back to the show. Here's Dr. Carole Lieberman.
Welcome back to Dr. Carol's Couch. I'm your psychiatrist host, Dr. Carole Lieberman, with my guest, Raj Babbra, who has made a film to commemorate the tragic loss of his lover and best friend, Benedetta. So why don't we take up where you left off on this love story, where you had just gotten her a job in London and your relationship was progressing.
Okay. Right, we've got to the point she's got her first job. It was just as a data analyst. It wasn't anything overly complicated, but it was her first step into a proper city job. And from there, she's moved from Gravesend because she needed somewhere to stay, somewhere closer, so she moved into my family home. And she was working in basically the same company as me. It was they were two connected. They had different names, but they were actually all under one umbrella. And this company was based right next door to Aldgate train station, right next to the underground. So we worked there. I was there for 6 months. It was only a contract job for me, and her one became a permanent one over a period of time. And she got her own place after a while, moved in with friends. First of all, it was with another lady. We got through an advert who was advertising a housemate. And at the same time, she still was basically spending most of her time around with my family. So as just the time went on, both of our careers progressed. I started going towards new media, programming, and she started becoming higher up in the company, but she wanted something a bit better than what she had now because she felt she was getting bored there. And she applied to Pearson, which does the publishing for Penguin. So she moved there, and that new job was in Charing Cross, which is it's actually on the Strand, which is just near Charing Cross, which is coincidentally where we had our first date when I told you about the picture piano. Mm-hmm. So she would travel now a different route, working there, and at the same time she wanted to also study to further her ability in what the kind of job she could get. She very much liked what I was doing, which was IT. So she would practice doing what I was doing, which was web programming, and I would teach her a bit, but she was then thinking, I want to study this properly.